a walk, and part of this walk is that it's called a praise walk. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. It's called a praise walk. I am a part of a community called Praying in Power. It's led by Prophetess Ebony Evans. And as part of Give God February, we are doing praise walks. So I just finished my praise walk and did not have my phone with me. I just had my watch on. I got my heart rate up to, hold on. I want y'all to see this. Can you see that? Oh, you can't see it, can you? Yes. I got my heart rate up to 229, which is awesome. I'm really sweaty, which is awesome, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. One of the things that God was talking to me about was capacity. And we get so excited about these vision boards, right? We have these vision board parties. We create the vision. You might have created your vision for 2026 and you're like, these are the things that I want to happen. And it's February and you're already discouraged because you don't see anything close to what that vision looked like, right? And one of the things he was showing me is that you have to have capacity, not just to run with the vision, but you have to have capacity to conceive the vision. And this may be a touchy topic for some, and I recognize that, and I understand that, and I honor that, I respect that. But for some women, when they are trying to conceive, the reason why they can't conceive is that their bodies are literally toxic, right? Their bodies are toxic, and so the seed of the sperm cannot reach the egg because either the environment is not conducive to receiving it, or if fertilization does happen, there's so much stuff going on inside of her that her body cannot carry, right? Cannot carry this life. And every single vision that you have for your life, every single thought that you have, every idea, it's like a child, right? It's like a child that you carry inside of you. And so just like those of you who are mothers, you would understand that when you carry a child that is so precious and you are careful to eat right, you're careful to exercise, you're careful to take your prenatal vitamins, you're careful to do all the things that you need to do in order to preserve that life that's growing inside of you. And your vision is exactly the same, right? Your vision is exactly the same. So whether it is that you want to buy a house, you want to be educated, you want a higher education, maybe you have a high school level education and you want to go to college, maybe it's that you want to move up in your career, maybe it's a vision for your relationships, a vision for your friendships, for your marriage. It could be so many different things. Whatever that vision is, that vision, just like a baby that's inside of you, is going to need to be nourished, right? So every single thing that you want to do, amen, I'm glad that this is inspiring you. Every single thing that you want to do has to have nourishment. I just turned 50. When I get to 70 or 80 or 90 years old, I still want to be agile. I still want to be mobile. So what do I need to do? I need to exercise. I need to eat a certain way. I need to maintain my mental state, right? Because my headmistress from primary school, I went to school in the West Indies, by the way, and she was up in age to me, but I guess like I was like 10, 11 years old, so everybody was old to me. But I'm 50, she's 107. Listen to me, she is 107 years old. She does walk with a cane, but she has her wits about her. She is completely mentally there. She remembers students from the 80s, from the 70s, right? Because of the way that she lived her life, because of what she put into it. So when it comes to your vision, this is not just about a vision board. It's not just about some cute little party where you had wine and you put some stickers on a board and you said, oh, well, this is the life that I want. Because I did that for years. Trust me. I did that for years. And I was like, why is this? I got sweat in my eyes. I'm like, why is this vision thing not working? Why is it not working? I don't understand. Like, what is the problem? And the problem was me. The problem wasn't the vision. The problem wasn't that vision boards don't work. The problem was that I needed to have a better mindset. I needed to detoxify. I needed to detoxify mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. How many of you know how much your diet, your actual diet, the food that you eat affects your brain? It literally affects your brain. Scripture talks about being transformed by the renewal of your mind. You're transformed when this changes. You're not transformed when your environment changes. And a lot of us, we are waiting. We are waiting for a man to come into our lives and change our lives. We're waiting for a job that's going to change. We're waiting for those friends to change. We're waiting for those family members to change. What if the realization of the vision starts here? One of the things that I learned, I don't know the medical term for it, but one of the things that I learned is that there is a form of blindness that is caused not by damage to your eyes, but damage to your brain. Your vision is actually in your mind. The vision is not in the thing that you see, it's in how you see it. So when you change your perspective, when you shift your perspective, when you start seeing things in a better light, that's when the vision changes. That's how you build capacity. Think about this. You've been living your life all of 2025 and there's garbage from 2025 and it's piling up in your house. This is stuff that you have not dealt with. And you just kind of, you put it by the door and you're like, oh yeah, I'll take that out later. I'll take that out later. I'll deal with that later. I'll deal with that. And that garbage pile just rises and rises and rises and rises. And you wonder, why is my house stinking? Like, I don't understand, like, what's happening? Why is the house stinking? It's stinking because of the pile of garbage. And I'm not saying you're a pile of garbage. I'm not saying I'm a pile of garbage, but I'm saying that day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, decade to decade, we are piling up garbage in our lives that's holding the space for the vision that we say that we want. It is holding the space. Everything that you will not release, whether it is shame, I'm talking about like negative things, shame, pain, anger, resentment, unforgiveness, all these things actually stand in the way of your vision. And trust and believe, I promise you, when you start to let these things go, you're going to see your life begin to change. How many of you have a gym membership, but you don't go to the gym? You signed up for a course, but you don't go online to do the course. You start following a podcast, but you've listened to like 1 or 2 episodes. And you've said at the beginning of 2026, this is the year that I'm going to change my life. This is the year that everything is going to change for me. Everything is going to be different. And then we fast forward and it's February and you're like, nothing has changed. Everything is exactly the same, because the vision begins with us. The vision does not begin outside of us. It begins inside of us. Just like what I was saying in the beginning, when a woman is first pregnant, you can't tell that she's pregnant, right? Her stomach is still small. You have no idea that she's pregnant. She may have some symptoms that may clue you in that, wait, something's going on here, but you have no idea. But when a woman is 5
Split
or
3, split pace, 23 minutes, 5 seconds per mile.
When a woman is pregnant, big pregnant, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months pregnant, then you're like, oh yeah, she's pregnant. Your vision is not going to be obvious to everyone around you. And just like when a woman is first pregnant, she doesn't tell everybody right away. So your vision doesn't need to be announced. It doesn't need to be announced to be validated. And the reason why many of us want to announce the vision is that sometimes we feel like we are less, and that vision is coming from a place of, I want to prove that I am someone, right? I want to prove that I can do this. Or there may be people who have spoken negatively into your life and who don't expect much from you, who don't think that you can do much. And so you want to prove them wrong. But if your vision is based on proving someone wrong, getting back at someone, or in any foundation of negativity, what is going to happen is that you are going to rely on that negativity to keep moving forward. This is why, let's say, I've had 3 pregnancies and I've gained 40 pounds, between 40 and 45 pounds with each pregnancy, right? And in the beginning, when I first started working out, it was easy actually, because I did not like the way I looked. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. And so I was determined to get back to my pre-pregnancy size, get back to a body and a shape that I felt proud of and that I felt comfortable with, right? Mind you, I love my body. I love what my body was able to do, but I also have a standard for how I want to look and how I want to feel. And I wanted to get back to that state. In the beginning, it was easy because I'm looking at myself and I'm overweight and I'm like, okay, no, this has to go. But as I started losing more weight and I started looking better and I started feeling better, my motivation was not there, because the motivation was external. The motivation was, I want to look good, not only to myself, but to my husband and to anybody who saw me. I want to look good, right? And the minute that I started looking a little better, then I slacked off. Your vision needs a standard. It needs a bare minimum standard. You're not going to set that standard from a place where you're feeling like less. So when I talk about taking out the trash and I talk about dealing with the toxicity and the trauma in your life, it is so necessary. It is so necessary. And you may not have drama to that degree going on in your life, but that doesn't mean that there isn't trash that needs to be taken out. Like my car right now. There's this, right? There's this little tiny receipt. But okay, let's say today there's this little tiny receipt, and then tomorrow there's another one, and the next day there's 3, and the next day there's 10, and the next day there's 1, and the next day there's 2. You see what happens? It builds up. So day to day, one of the things that I love to tell women is that we need 3 types of daily appointments: an appointment with God, an appointment with yourself, and your appointments with others, in that order. When you order your life in that way, you can show up well for others. We are very good at showing up for others, not showing up for God and not showing up for ourselves. We are very good at that. Because the thing is, when you are needed, it makes you feel important. But who are you when nobody needs you? Do you know who you are when nobody needs you? Because when you can grasp who she is, that is the version of you that you are going to take into every single room. And that is what builds consistency. That is what builds capacity for the vision. That is what builds the courage to keep moving. You cannot quit on a vision that you embody. You will not quit. So when I talk about, do you have capacity to carry the vision? The capacity starts with your ability to conceive the vision in the first place, because you're not going to carry what you haven't conceived. And we want the glory. We want the glory of the vision. We want the end result of the vision. We can picture ourselves in that moment. But what about the process? What about the process that gets us there? And the reason why so many women quit is that they are more married to the vision than they are to the version of themselves that they need to become in order to carry out that vision. I'm reading this. something I need to work on, implementing these 3 appointments. Yes. Yes, we can be really good at showing up for other people, and that's great. That's great. We absolutely should show up for other people. One of the things that I realized when I was reading Genesis some months ago is that the woman was created to be an attractive solution. That's what we're supposed to be. But we can only be that if we are whole, right? If we are complete. Everyone is not on 100% every single day. Trust me, I am not on 100% today. And I normally do 3 laps. And today, when I got out the car, I was like, okay, I'm only going to do 1. And I did 1 lap, and then I passed my car and realized that I was on my 2nd lap. And then I was like, oh, okay, fine, I'll just do the 2nd one. And then when I did the 2nd one, I was like, I might as well do the 3rd one, right? And so I did complete the 3 laps, but I didn't start out that way. I started out saying, all right, I'm going to do just 1. So don't be afraid to start small, but don't stay small. Don't be afraid to start with a small goal, but don't keep your goals small. Don't keep yourself small, and don't keep your voice small. There are things that you desire that I believe are God's plan for your life, and that's why He put the desire in you. There are things that you just cannot shake for whatever reason. No matter what happens in life, you keep coming back to this thing. There's like, have you ever spoken to women, or maybe that's you, where you're like, I've always wanted to do XYZ, right? And you don't do it because you don't think it's possible, because you don't have the support, whatever the reason or the excuse may be. We have to build capacity, because capacity is going to give endurance. Scripture says the vision is for an appointed time. Though it tarries, and tarries just means like, though it's delayed and it feels like it's taking a long time, wait for it. Wait for it. How are you going to wait? We're not just waiting by just sitting there. We're waiting by going through the process and trusting the process, one step in front of the other. I had a dream years ago, and this dream has always stuck with me, and it was actually a recurring dream. I was walking in the dark. I knew it was me. You know how you just know things in a dream? I knew it was me. And every time I raised my foot, I could see the soles of my feet, and there was light coming out of the soles of my feet. But when I put my foot down, I was in darkness again. So the only way for me to see where I was going in the dream was to keep walking, because every time I raised my foot, I could see just enough to take the next step. And sometimes your vision is like that. You will see just enough to take the next step, and that is enough. That is enough. One of the things that I teach in the vision sequence, my coaching sequence, is that when we build out the vision, the last thing is the next steps. Next steps, not 5 years down the road, not 10 years down the road. Next step, like, what is the next thing that I have to do? It's going to get me just a little bit closer to my vision, just a little bit closer to my goal, or just a little bit closer to the version of myself that I need to become in order to accomplish the vision. I gotta go. I have a lot to do today, but I really hope this helps. Thank you to those of you who joined me. Blessings on your journey. If this has blessed you in any way, please share it with another woman who you think it can help, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.